Welcome back, everybody. It is December 30th, still 2018, 10:10 p.m. All right, we're taking a look at current temperatures right now, and we can clearly see that the southeast is a little mild at the moment. There is a reason for this, and once again, the reason is the jet stream, and not just the fact that it's, the El Nino type jet stream, but this thing is moving quick and it's aiding in a severe weather event that we need to point out that's going to be going on in the southeast states, particularly. Basically, it's going to be Louisiana through Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, basically all the way up to the Great Lakes. The Ohio River Valley is certainly going to be under watch in the next 16 hours. In fact, we're already seeing lightning beginning to form in some of these severe areas, and the temperature definitely has a factor being played in that. So with this little bit of warm weather here, that is due to the constant upflow in the Gulf here that is pulling warm air from the Gulf and the Caribbean up into the U.S., while we have that dramatic down dip of the jet stream basically covering most of the country in bitter cold weather and also severe snowstorms. So there's a lot going on, but the main point on this video is the severe warnings that our friends here in these states really need to look out for. So with that said, we're going to go through our Doppler radar chart here, but just check out how it's hard to tell the speed from this, but the moisture and where it's coming from is what you want to focus on. Now, you could see the fuel's coming from the Pacific Ocean. You can't scroll down far enough to see into this part below the Baja region here, but you could see that flow of moisture is really ripping up through Texas, and now that we're seeing the lightning, some of those severe thunderstorms are starting to collect together and begin to form. Now, in the next 16 hours, we're going to have to be talking about tornado warnings and watches, and that's very important for these states because, like I said, this upflow is allowing the warm air to continue to keep these states mild as we have severe cold weather in the down dip part of the jet stream here. How they have not named this a winter storm yet is beyond me, based on what the Weather Channel said yesterday. 400,000 square miles in a winter weather advisory area, or 2 million people in an area under a winter weather watch would be considered a named storm. So we could be dealing with that at any minute right now, which would be Winter Storm Fisher. But again, this video is about the severe weather that we're looking at going up towards the Ohio River Valley. And again, I just want to show you how quickly this moisture is moving up, and this is because of the jet stream. Now, I pulled this chart up really quick. This is a stationary graphic. This shows the jet stream miles per hour, and the jet stream is a very high altitude wind, so that's why you're seeing these high numbers. But just look, if you follow this line here, the 120 to the 140 and 160, you begin to get an idea of how it's actually ripping that moisture from the Pacific up into the states, and that's what's causing, or will be the cause, of the severe watches that we already have in effect in the Ohio River Valley as far as tornadoes and severe thunderstorms, basically areas that have been saturated for a long time already. Now, you could also see that here in this more of a simple, this is a goes east water vapor chart, so it's showing you water vapor. Not much different than this chart here. It just gives you a little bit of an outbound view, so you can see the moisture's coming from the Pacific across Mexico, being pulled over Texas, and then it's beginning to bow upwards, and as that bows like that, it's pulling more moisture up. So the severe areas is going to be right around here, and to verify that, we have this chart here. This is our convective chart. So you can see that it basically mirrors what we just showed with the upflow of moisture, and then how it begins to bow. It's kind of pulling up that extra moisture, and then the severe situations happen within that bow. So that is why you're seeing this area highlighted. So long story short, guys, if you live in the states, basically anywhere from Louisiana through Mississippi, Alabama, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, and that's going to move into Illinois and Indiana, and then possibly Ohio. But once we get up this far into the northeast, that cold air tends to subside some of the severe thunderstorm parts of it, because as I showed you on the temperature chart, it's a little mild down here, but once you cross that threshold of West Virginia, we're talking snow temperatures, like cold enough to be snowing, and or any drop of water that touches the ground will become ice. So again, this is strictly a shout out or a heads up. As I like to say, to give credit to my friend BP Earthwatch, who, once again, is one of the biggest reasons I have a channel to begin with. So that man will always be someone I respect and looked up to, regardless of where I take this channel or what we talk about here. So anyway, sorry about that ramble. Guys, you live in these states, please be aware of it. Understand that in the next 16 hours, your New Year's Eve is not going to be that fun unless you're inside, safe. If you're going to be doing any plans with family, maybe get the traveling done a little sooner. It's already raining, so, I mean, we all deal with rain here, especially in the eastern states, in the Northeast. We deal with rain everywhere, but when it gets into the severe situation, you want to try to be outside as least as possible. So let me see if I can have, or if I have anything else really quick I want to show you before we can just look at tropical tidbits and the actual states that are going to be affected. Now, also, guys, just look at the amount of snow and cold that is in the basically central part of the country, all the way down into Texas, and this bows even into California, guys. We have some very low temperatures in California too. Let's go right here. Here we go. Let's back this up and let's just move through it, and we'll see where this thing's going to go. So again, these are 6-hour increments. So between now and midnight, we're seeing this. So there's already rain in Louisiana, parts of Texas. You can even take Arkansas in there, and then it gets severe after that. So midnight to 6 a.m., this is what we're going to be looking at. Most at risk at this point, according to this chart, would be Tennessee, and then the western or eastern part of Arkansas, sorry. And then things get really serious as we move into hour 12, basically noon till 6 p.m., when a lot of people are starting to get together. You see how it starts to bow this way? Again, that is because of the moisture that we saw. It was bowing like this and then being pushed up. Excuse me. It was being pushed upwards, and then you could see that severe popping up right here, which is mostly over the Kentucky area. So that will be the highlight zone of the probable tornado situations. But regardless, guys, there's going to be severe storms all over this area, all of New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day, actually. So we can move into the next 6-hour period. This is 6 p.m. to midnight. And then the next frame you can see would be January 1st, which we talked about yesterday. Still up in the air whether or not this system is going to bring snow down into the northeast states. It looks like some of the northern areas by Great Lakes, Michigan might see some snow. We got the ice and rain mix coming back around this way, so a little more time to keep an eye on this and just watch. We do have a severe weather strip going right there through Indiana and then the top part of Ohio. Not so much a tornado threat in my opinion, just based on temperatures alone. But anytime you see these rings, guys, these when you see the low pressure L here and then the rings around it, the tighter the rings are, the more wind you get. So it's going to be a pretty windy, yeah, definitely going to be windy. We could say that, we can add that in there without a doubt. And again, the pinks here, focus on that. Even though we're watching the tornado situation here, keep an eye on these areas too, because if you live in these areas, you're going to be dealing with sleet and snow mix rather than the rain. And then basically 200-300 miles to the south, you have tornadoes and more mild weather, as we showed here in the temperature chart. This will change, though, guys. We are going to be dealing with some very, very cold days up ahead. In fact, I have a folder. Let's see here. I'm going to show you really quick before we end this video. Okay, so for at least January, which we are about to head into in the next 2 days, this is what they expect our temperatures to be like. Below average temperatures in the south all the way to the southeast. That's Texas to the southeast. Near or below slightly average in the middle of the country, going up to the Great Lakes in the northeast. Near or slightly above average as we get to basically the middle of the country down to the Midwest and then down towards Southern California. And then the northern parts of California and up are going to be above average for the month of January. But as we get into February, check this out, guys. The entire Northeast, all the way basically from Minnesota, whipping down all the way to North Carolina is going to be well below average for temperatures, which we never want to see. And then, as you can read these yourselves here, much above average. Going to be very, very warm in the upper west in the west part of the U.S. And then, as we move into March, finally, we might have a little bit of that spring fever. Well, actually, after seeing this, we will have spring fever because this is going to cause a lot of people to go nuts in the month of February. But remember what happened last March, guys. 4 nor'easters, 4 weeks in a row. So you can't take this literal just yet. I just wanted to show it to you guys to give you an idea of what, as of right now, we and they are expecting the temperatures to be like. So, all right, guys, just wanted to get that warning out to those of you that are traveling at least tonight and in the next 16 hours. A lot of severe weather going on through the Ohio River Valley that we really need to pay attention to. Of course, there is a big snowstorm behind that. That will be another video. And as always, with that said, Caroline and I wish everybody a wonderful rest of your evening. We are in New Year's Eve in the next 2 hours, at least in the eastern part of the U.S. So it's going to be New Year's Eve. Everybody be safe. There will be a video tomorrow. Actually, there's going to be a video in the next couple hours. So even better. And there will be a video tomorrow. So, all right, guys, take care. Be safe. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.